Section 6 for Chapter 6 is about markdown pricing. Now, a markdown is pretty much when something goes on sale. So, like, say you're going into a clothing store. Usually, they have like a section or like a clothes rack set up, and it'll say like sale or like discount or something like that. And typically, it is done for the customer, kind of like coupons and rebates. Typically, it's done to promote customers to buy an item because pretty much you're getting the item for less than what it regularly costs. So a markdown is just a discount on buying an item, and it's done in two ways. So in one instance, it's going to say like $20 off this purchase, or the markdown will be at a markdown price. So for instance, if it were regularly $100, it may be marked down to $50. So you're saving the markdown price of that would be $50 because you're just taking the regular price and subtracting it by the sale price. So that's the first way that you find markdown. And that's what we're going to do for this section, is just find the markdown price. So for the first instance you get, which in the example will cover both, the first example, you'll get the regular price and the sale price. The difference is the actual markdown. The second instance is when you're given a markdown rate. So a markdown rate is a percentage that is given off of the item. For instance, they may say everything in this rack, every part of clothing that is, I don't know, every part of clothing that is a certain brand is 20% off. And so your markdown rate can either just be the sale price is different, which is typically what happens. They usually don't just say you're going to get $50 off. Usually it'll just be marked down at a lower price. And then the other way is to actually get the percentage that you have or that it gives you, for instance, 20% off, and multiply that rate by the regular price. And in order to do that, you have to change that percentage to a decimal. And like I've told you before, if we were to make 20% a decimal, just take 20, divide it by 100, and you will get 0.2. So that's 20% as a decimal. All right, let's look at the example. So the example is Nora purchased a camcorder at a sale price of $499.99, and the regular selling price was $599.99. So this is the first instance of, or the first example of the very first way that you could find markdown. So if we wanted to find the markdown between those, we would simply take $549.99 and subtract it by $499.99. That difference is the actual markdown. So we've got $549.99 minus 40. All right. So it would actually be a markdown of $50. So that's the first part of this example. Now, that to me is a lot easier. Pretty much it's just subtracting, kind of like we did with the coupon stuff. The next part of this is that she also purchased a flat screen TV at 30% off of the regular price of $1,499. So if we want to know the markdown for that, that is the second way. So when we're given a percentage, you will have to multiply to find the markdown. So you will take your selling price, the regular price or the original price, and you're going to multiply by that percentage rewritten as a decimal. And so if we want to rewrite 30% as a decimal, just divide 30 by 100, you will get 0.3, and then you'll multiply 0.3 by 140 or $1,499. That would be a markdown of $449.70. So essentially, it is that much cheaper. It's $449.75 off of the regular price. Right now, we're just going to focus on finding the markdown. And so you'll probably have examples on the homework where you'll need to do both. I don't know if I'll put both in the same problem, but we will see. But that is both of the situations or both of the ways that you could have to calculate markdown. The first way is pretty much just subtracting, and the second way is multiplying by the percentage rewritten as a decimal.